good indicators of the moment of taking actions in the classroom. But also, it's important to be aware of that beliefs and know how to work with them. When teaching in an ESL environment, it's important to take into account all the aspects that surrounds it. The research study named Bilingual Teachers' Beliefs and Practice Do They Line Up was conducted with the objective to understand better the teachers' behaviors and how this can have an impact on the classroom. In this research, there were various types of population. The principal goal was to verify how a teacher beliefs can impact a classroom. The researchers proposed to examine teachers' beliefs about the nature of teaching knowledge, where teaching knowledge is defined as all knowledge relevant to the practice of teaching. In the study, there is an emphasis on establishing the difference between knowledge and beliefs, making sure to provide the significance of each one. This is important since all the project related to the teacher's beliefs with the impact that this may have on the classroom. So we have some common situations where this can be present. So different aspects can affect the position of teaching with beliefs. A teacher belief can later evolve into teaching strategy. I am going to talk about this later on the presentation. So teaching knowledge beliefs when teaching. Relevant aspects to take into account. The relationship between bilingual teacher beliefs and practice and teacher behaviors and the teacher and the student's outcomes. So in the study, the authors cite Fang, a language professor and literacy. He says that earlier researchers have noted that complexities of classroom life can constrain teachers' abilities to attend to their beliefs and provide instructions which aligns with their theoretical beliefs. This is a very common situation. Yes, not everything is supposed to be perfect. Sometimes it could be difficult for a teacher to implement into the classroom their own theoretical beliefs. Um, the theoretical beliefs, their beliefs of a person were built through the life, through different situations that may happen. So this can make have an impact on a person. And later, when there is a teacher, this impact may have a positive aspect to be on their classroom. So this may be affected by the school, by the students, by the parents, by the principals, because not everybody is supposed to be, not everybody is supposed to agree with this type of situation, but it is a very positive situation. Belief in your own capacity is really important as well as belief in the other's capacity. This can make the difference, especially when it's related to the teaching aspect. The teacher's beliefs about learning influences the whole learning process. In the text, there is a cite for the author Richards. This catch my attention because this author says that beliefs are taught to drive actions. And in my perspective, how better way to implement actions than a class that is full of knowledge, full of interest, full of many things. So we need to have the teacher needs to be very confident of how class is going to be loved, how is the class is going to be developed. Also, they need to be aware of their students, the capacity of their students. They need to believe in their students because this is going to bring a confidence to the classroom, and the class is going to be developed more easily if the student feels confident with the process that they are following and also with the teacher. So this is a very relevant aspect in these situations. Mm, um, okay, but and the teacher's belief about learning influences the whole learning process. But how this may affect, so a teacher know how manage their own class. They are going to be capable to recognize the problems, the situations, the abilities, all in their classroom and in their students. So they need to be aware of that to create the perfect environment of learning for their students. The teacher is a factor of change. Working together with the students, this can be possible. So whenever the teacher works together with the students, they are going to be aware of their own process, of their own learning process. The teacher is going to work with the beliefs that he or she has about the class, about the capacity of the students, and the students are going to start to believe in their own capacities. The students are going to start believing that they are going to be able to be good at what they are doing. Well, right now we have the teaching beliefs. The teaching beliefs can be based on personal experiences. In the text, there is some quotations where we can see that the teachers were interviewed and they relate personal experiences that later in their own classes are affecting them, but in a positive way because they are creating things based on those experiences that they have previously, how they feel in certain class, how they feel when a teacher make them do something, some very different situations that can help them to create their own beliefs and then apply these beliefs into the classroom. The student as made part of the action. Yes, the student is the main part of the learning process. If a student is confident, if a student is concentrated, if a student know that he can trust into his teacher, into his or her teacher, the student is going to be more capable to have a better learning process. Be aware of the environment. This goes for both, for the students and for the teachers. In the case of the teachers, they need to be aware of the environment to create the best way to teach in this type of environment. So the teacher needs to analyze the classroom, they need to analyze the situation of the students, they need to analyze the school. So basing of all these situations, the teacher is going to be able to create an environment and a class that he or she can develop, taking into account all the situations that this environment can can have. Teaching knowledge, all knowledge is relevant. Well, like I was saying previously, all knowledge is relevant. So no matter what, all the knowledge is going to be there. So all the knowledge needs to be work. So for the knowledge, all is relevant, but it needs to be worked with. External factors are going to be always related to the beliefs. There are factors that can affect the possibility of work through beliefs, especially when teaching is related to a language. or to English. There are so many beliefs that how is the better way to teach English, but this could be something that can a teacher can use for the classroom, and this could be good for them. So, but they need to build with their beliefs and analyzing all the situations, analyzing the environment, analyzing the students, analyzing themselves for create the perfect way to teach English or to teach a different language. And that's all. Thank you so much.